All right, make a motion to accept the agenda for a meeting of Scituate Board of Health on Monday, April 12th, 2021 at 6 p.m.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so scheduled items. First one, discuss and vote septic design hearing for 159R Glades Road, Morse Engineering representing the homeowner. Request for installation of septic system requiring local upgrades and variances. And I see that Greg is on.
Good evening.
Hey, Greg, just go ahead and make a...
Excellent. For the record, Gregory Morse, registered engineer, Morse Engineering. I'm representing the property owner, Maura Conlon. This is a septic system repair project.
Greg, did you drop off the can you drop off the butter cards?
Sure, I'll email them to you right now as well.
Great. Thank you.
Yep. So representing the property owner, Maura Conlon, it's a septic system repair project at 159R Glades Road. The site today has an existing 3-bedroom single-family home on it with a failed septic system. The proposal here is to install a new septic system, but it is a rather small lot. It is constrained with wetlands, being the salt marsh behind the property. The lot itself is approximately 4,934 square feet in size. The proposal here is to put in a Hoot H500A treatment tank, to put in a 1,500-gallon pump chamber, and to put in a pressure-dosed geoflow drip system. It would be located in the front yard of where the house is. This did require a couple of local upgrade approvals. The local upgrade approvals were a setback from the tanks to the property line of 2 feet, the setback of 7.5 feet from the soil absorption system to the property line, and a setback from 40 feet from the soil absorption system to the salt marsh, where 50 is typically required. This is an advanced treatment system. It is a Hoot system with the geoflow proposed. We felt we cited it as best we could with respect to the salt marsh, the existing driveway, and the property line constraints. This system, this plan was approved by the Board of Health previously, approximately 4 years ago. The plan was never constructed. We have not made any changes in the plan since that time. Turn it over to you.
Okay. Joan, did you have any?
Nope, I just don't see the water line, Greg. Could you point that out?
Yeah.
The only thing I couldn't, I don't think it was identified, or I just missed it.
So directly adjacent to the driveway is a line that says WS on it. And we have a portion of it proposed to be sleeved. It has a note, contracted to relocate water service 10 feet from edge of soil absorption system, sleeve within 2-inch PVC if within 10 feet. It's right between the soil absorption system and the driveway, John.
I see it. Okay. Okay. All right.
Greg, this is the house that's on the left-hand side heading towards the Glades, right before the parking lot, right?
No, this is actually, if you go almost to the end of Glades Road, on the left-hand side is a little dirt road that goes out to Great Rock Island.
Okay.
And that little dirt road that goes out to Great Rock Island, there's 3 cottages on it. This is the last cottage before Great Rock.
Okay. All right. All right. Anything else?
I think you already got approval, Greg, right, from Conservation?
Yes.
Okay.
Nope. We're okay with what was
Wendy,
there.
do you have any questions?
I don't.
Can you go ahead and make a
Do you have a motion in front of you, Wendy, or should we?
I
say
do.
it again?
I do.
You do? Okay, good.
Okay, I move to approve the septic repair plan for, 159 R Glades Road, Scituate, with the following upgrades requested. 1, request to allow setback from the required 10 feet to 2 feet from the tanks and the property line. 2, request to allow a setback from the required 10 feet to 7.5 feet from the soil absorption system to the property line. 3, request to allow a setback from the required 50 feet to 40 feet from the soil absorption system to the salt marsh, pending Conservation Commission approval, and to address, we already did the Board of Health review comments.
Okay, second,
Aye.
and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Greg, I guess you're going to stay on, talked about the nitro land credit.
Yes.
Okay, so what we can just jump to that. So discuss old business, discuss and vote nitro land credit for 131 Maple Street.
Great. So this project here, this was a project I worked on several years ago when the Board of Health agent was Jennifer Keefe. We had proposed to construct a new single-family home on Lot B, Maple Street, which is an existing vacant house lot. It's approximately 18,000 square feet in size. It is located, however, within a DEP Zone 2. Being in a Zone 2, you're restricted 1 bedroom per 10,000 square feet of lot size. Title V in the DEP, though, do have a provision that allow a property that's undersized like this to have more bedrooms constructed on it if other land inside of the DEP Zone 2 is restricted. And so we found other land within the Zone 2, specifically land at 115 Grove Street. It's located in the same wellhead protection area, the same Zone 2 as the subject property on Maple Street. We're asking to restrict 12,000 square feet of land on Grove Street for the benefit of the property on Maple Street. It allows a 3-bedroom home to be constructed on the Maple Street lot. This was never fully, the document to do this was never fully executed back in 2017, 2018, when we were originally working on this. I think the property has recently changed hands, and it kind of came back to the forefront of the Board of Health, in the past couple of months here. I really wasn't involved until about 2 or 3 weeks ago to help kind of get this across the finish line. There are a couple of different ways of doing these nitrogen restrictions. One way to do them is through just a nitrogen restriction document and an easement. That document is similar to any deed restriction that you would require for like an IA type of system. It requires sign off from the local approving authority, which in this case is you, and from the property owner. It restricts that piece of land that it cannot be built on, it cannot be touched, it must be kept in its natural condition. It goes on record at the Registry of Deeds in perpetuity. Another way to do it, however, is what they call a CR, a conservation restriction. And I think when this was looked at a couple weeks ago when the selectmen were involved, people were thinking that this needed a CR, which is a different type of document, which does require selectmen approval and does require state approval. I will admit that the document DEP has, or the guidance that DEP has put out there regarding this type of arrangement, it's meant to be an all-encompassing document, and it can be kind of tricky to read. So I understand the confusion with it, but the CR is not the applicable document in this case. What needs to be recorded is this nitrogen restriction and easement, which is purely a document approved by your board. It does not need Board of Selectmen nor conservation approval in any way. I can talk about it more, or I can turn it over to you.
Well, I know that
Yeah, I just want to say that when we got the documents from the owners, it was confusing because they filled out all of the documents that were on the DEP website, which included the conservation restriction. And they had that signed as well. So I think that was the whole confusion with the document. So that's why we brought it to the committee as a conservation restriction. But I talked to Amy in conservation, and it's really a nitrogen loading restriction and easement for this credited land. They can't do anything to it. It still needs to be documented in the Plymouth, deed of records that they're prohibited from doing things on the land. It's an easement and it's credited land.
Yeah, I do want to be clear. This does not make the lot buildable. The lot is buildable whether you grant this or not. It's just a matter of whether you can cite a 2-bedroom versus a 3-bedroom house on this property. But again, DEP has this provision in for this exact scenario, and that's what we've applied it for.
Okay. And I know that we had voted on it. So I know that we don't have Karen here tonight, but do we make another motion even though we approved it?
Yes, because it says discuss and vote.
Okay.
Yes.
So
That's for tonight.
Okay. Wendy, do you have the?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you want to go through and then we can go vote on it.
I will say before, Greg, the owners are going to have to fill out a new one of these forms because this one's old and it has to be recorded 30 days after the approval date. So unfortunately, they're probably going to have to fill that.
That's not a problem. We'll get you a new one.
That one little form because it's old.
Could that be put into the motion?
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going to register until we get it anyway.
Okay.
So that's fine.
Okay, what's the form called?
Called a nitrogen restriction and easement.
Okay. All
I think
right.
I think I sent you one. Did you see it?
I do, but I didn't know if I had to mention the form being refilled out. So I will say that.
Resubmitting an application, resubmitting the form.
Okay. Let's see. Move to approve the State of Massachusetts grant of Title V nitrogen loading restriction and easement of facility land 310 CMR 15.216 from 119 Grove Street for 131 Maple Street. And a new application will need to be submitted.
Okay. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg.
Bye, Greg.
Have a good night.
Bye.
You too. All right. The famous director report.
The famous thing. Okay. So, we're still going through the whole, excuse me.
Train's in.
Yeah.
No wind turbine. Train.
So we're still going through the, everything COVID right now. And while we are going through that, we still have our daily duties that we have to perform. So we do have plans coming in every single day. Currently, we have 14 new plans in. We have 8 that are awaiting revision, 3 over at Concom that we're waiting on, and we have about a dozen as-builts that we are waiting on. As far as COVID guidelines, we continue to get calls every single day, and some of the calls are tricky. People ask about events that are going to be going on in, June or July, and how many people can I have? Can I have a bar room open? So Joan and I struggle because all we can say is this is what you can do today. We never know what's going to happen tomorrow. With that said, we give them as much information as we can. And, right now we can have 150 people outside, 100 inside. Tables still have to be 6 feet apart. There are still specific guidelines and guidances for all of the different industries and, businesses that are out there. So we are still following guidelines. Masks are still required. People ask all the time, when is that going to be lifted? And I can't say when. It's going to happen. The more people that we get vaccinated, the better off we are. So far in Scituate, we've vaccinated over 90% of the most vulnerable population, the over 75 group. So those have all been vaccinated. We have done a couple of clinics. We actually gave out the 387 shots down at the community center about 10 days ago, I believe. We also had about 40 people over at the Scituate Housing Authority that had registered for shots. So we were able to work with the Scituate Fire Department and Deputy Chief Al Elliott and the paramedics. And they actually went over there with Eileen, Scotty, and our nurse. And they took care of those in-house right there, which worked out very, very well. Anybody that is homebound, we still encourage you to call the 211 number to get on that list. It is a very strict, what's the word I'm looking for? Screening process. So I suggest you don't hold anything back. If they consider homebound, ambulatory, or if you need two people to get you out of the house. So it's you want to really make sure that you can get it delivered to you. As far as, restaurants and everything else, they're open to whatever they can do as long as tables remain 6 feet apart. Bars are still not open. You still have to have either the high tops or the big, the plastic up. So, we continue to work with the bar rooms. The school departments we continue to work with. We meet with them on a regular basis. Eileen checks in with Kelly, who's in charge of the school nurses, on a daily basis. Last week, we did have 33 cases within the town. The week before that, it was 38. Our percent rate is, I believe, 3.24 for the last 2 weeks. The state's is about 2.24, so we're about a point higher than the state. The cases that we're getting are younger adults and kids. So again, we're near the end. We can't let our guard down. If you're going to be out and you haven't been vaccinated yet and you're going to be with people that haven't been vaccinated, or if you've been vaccinated and other people haven't been, you have to wear your mask. The only time you don't have to wear a mask is if you're with your own household or family members or friends that all have been vaccinated and have 2 weeks under their belt. Have to be fully vaccinated, 2 weeks under your belt, and then if you had relatives that were all vaccinated, then you could get together. But until that happens, and we're still a ways away from that, we really want to stress people wearing
peanut butter,
avoid large crowds, and just keep the social distancing. And that's the wrap. We have town meeting tonight at 7.
So the people that got their first round 10 days ago, are we doing the second round too, or was it the one shot?
It was the Moderna vaccine. We are scheduled to hopefully do that on the 27th of April. It'll probably be about 5 weeks out, not 4 weeks out. Okay. I did talk directly with a friend of mine over at DPH Emergency Preparedness. I've known her a long time. Her name's Mary Clark, about the vaccine, because I want to make sure we get it. And she asked how I got 400 doses. So I said, I just kept, sending in a request. And one day it popped up 300 for us and 100 for the housing authority. And I wasn't going to give it back, Mary. And she said, well, I don't blame you, but now I want to make sure we get our next. So she said they're going to do everything they can in their power to make sure that we do get that second dose.
Okay.
And, I'll keep being the thorn.
All right. All right. New business.
Okay, and that's it.
Yep. And then the only other thing is administrative invoice approval.
Yes, we have 9. 3 of them are related to supplies for the clinics that we held. They're, $30, $29, and then another one. And then we have 6 that are for perk tests that are $2.10 a piece.
Okay. I say go ahead and approve, or do we have to vote on it?
You have to make a motion to.
Okay.
Yes, because you guys aren't signing it. I am.
Okay. Wendy, you want to make that motion?
I make a motion to approve what should I be saying? Sorry.
Just that.
The invoices.
The invoices. Sorry.
Go ahead, say second, Doug.
Second. All in
Second.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? I think that's it. Drew, have fun at the town meeting.
I will.
Make a motion to adjourn the Scituate Board of Health for Monday. God, I forgot the date.
April 12th.
April 12th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brianna.
Brianna.
Bye, guys.
Bye.